IShowSpeed versus Jake Paul is definitely not the fight that we want to see. I think seeing IShowSpeed fight would be quite entertaining. That guy would definitely put his own rhythm to it. But Jake Paul, brother, I think it's time you actually fight someone good. Like, yeah, sure, getting Mike Tyson back in the ring was kind of entertaining, even though the fight itself was utter shite. But anyway, IShowSpeed just called out Jake Paul. Well, sort of. So let's get into the clip.
I feel like I could beat Jake Paul in a fight.
When you say you could beat Jake Paul in a fight, do we mean a boxing match? Do we mean
boxing match? Yes.
Why? Why do you feel as if you could beat him?
Look, I respect his work ethic, but when I watch him box, it's like seeing it doesn't look fluent, I feel like I can really get him.
To be fair, I completely understand where Speed is coming from here. When Jake Paul boxes, there is hardly any fluidity with it. It's a very kind of thick, sluggish kind of movement from him, especially with him at this weight at the moment. He is not meant to be this weight whatsoever. I'm pretty sure he even said it himself. So I'll give him a bit of the benefit of the doubt there. But even when he's boxed at a lower weight, he always seems to be a little bit awkward. I don't know how to explain it, so I do agree with Speed on that one. But when it comes down to professional fighting, technique is extremely important, but it's not always about technique. A lot of the time, it's all about your actual smarts in the fights, what kind of knowledge and what kind of brain you have whilst you're fighting. Anyway, let's let Speed carry on.
When you watch it, you see flaws in his game. You say, oh, I could have got him.
Yeah, exactly.
Could have got him there.
Exactly. And especially if I have 6 months, all I need is 6 months.
Right.
If I have 6 months of training, I'm being any boxer in this world.
All right. Any boxer in the world.
Yeah, I don't know if this guy's been speaking to Logan Paul and KSI too much, but Speed, mate, you're going fucking cuckoo. We might need to lobotomize you. I have no clue, brother. 6 months training is nowhere near enough time to beat Jake Paul. Don't get me wrong, Speed is a phenomenal athlete. He has some great abilities, but 6 months is just such a short amount of time. I remember when I first started boxing, and the first 6 months weren't massively different to when I started. If anything, my confidence was lower because I was focused more on my technique being right, which made me perform worse in a way, because you realize that actually you're not the hot shit and your technique is kind of ass. And obviously I didn't have a team like what Speed would have, but even so, 6 months to ingrain the same knowledge as Jake Paul, I just don't think it's gonna happen. Anyway, Speed then kind of gave a bit of a prediction for how the fight would go, so let's get into that.
How do you predict a fight would go between you and Jake Paul? Would it be knockout? Would it go the distance?
Yep. I think I'm knocking him out.
How soon? Like right away? Or?
No. I say about the 5th, 6th round. I'm getting him.
He's going to sleep.
I'm on the opposite side entirely. I'm not even close. I think if anything, it would go the distance and Speed would maybe win from going the distance. This guy without a doubt could have some incredible stamina. I mean, we've seen him running in general. Fantastic runner. And we've seen him doing some gymnastics recently. And overall, his body's built for long-term athleticism. However, I don't know if he'd have the power to knock Jake Paul out. I mean, obviously, they'd be the same weight and stuff, but even height-wise as well, I'm pretty sure IShowSpeed is 5'8", something like that. And although Mike Tyson was shorter than all of his opponents, respectfully, Speed, you're not quite Mike Tyson here. It's more likely Jake Paul would just kind of control the distance, just keep you away, and then before you'd know it, maybe hit you with a little hook, wobble you a bit, and you just slowly be recovering throughout the whole fight. But anyway, let's carry on.
It's gonna just be that one good one, like the one that Javante Davis did on Ryan? Right. One good one.
And then that's it.
He's done. He's sweet.
All right. Well, there you have it. IShowSpeed thinks he could beat Jake Paul. Make some noise for that.
When somebody watches boxing in UFC and they start to notice some flaws in everyone's games, like you naturally would, they start thinking that they would be able to compete in the same kind of manner. But as soon as you're in that realm, brother, with all due respect, it's a whole different world. The mistakes that you were noticing when you were watching on your television completely disappear. The person that you're fighting may as well be fucking perfect, especially if you're unexperienced as well. I mean, even if you're fighting someone that's at the same level, they might be doing shit where you're thinking, what the fuck? How the hell are they hitting me with that? And then you look back and you're like, how the hell were they hitting me with that? But anyway, off the rip, Jake Paul's manager instantly jumped on this opportunity, putting his fingers together like a mouse with some fucking cheese, and straight up offered 20 million if he could beat Jake Paul, which is a crazy amount of money, by the way. And honestly, this fight could happen, especially if Speed is money hungry. This fight could be in our palms before we know it. And not only that, Jake Paul also replied, just basically saying, yeah, Speed's got to be trolling, which, to be honest, I really hope that he is, because I do not want to see this fight. Out of all of the fights that Jake Paul's had, this is the one that I want to see the least. Even the Mike Tyson fight, I was a slight advocate for, because I wanted to see Mike Tyson fight. Now that I've seen him fight, Mike please, brother, put the gloves down. It's not quite right for you. I'm going to be honest. I know you're having fun. I know you're enjoying yourself, but please, man, it's time to just relax. But anyway, for those of you that haven't seen Speed box before, he's got energy to himself. We'll say that. That's from one of Speed's IRL streams when he was in Greece. And I'm going to be real with you, Speed. Not up to scratch. You know, 6 months, you could probably fix a bit of that, keep your guard a little bit higher, maybe move a little bit better. But because Speed's already been boxing a little bit every now and then, he's already kind of got it ingrained in him how he's going to be throwing these punches. And he's going to have to unravel that and re-tie the shoelace again. It's going to be very difficult to do. And that's why whenever someone says, oh, I want to kind of start getting into some sort of martial arts, the best thing to advise them is to just go and learn from someone who knows what they're doing. Don't go to the gym and start hitting the bag and get some gloves and do whatever. Go to someone who actually has the experience and say, look, man, can you just teach me some basics? You know, I want to get into it. And they'll teach you, you know, keep your guard up. Here's how you throw a jab. Here's how you throw a hook. Here's how you roll. Here's how you slip. You know, just the basic shit. And once you've got that ingrained in yourself, you're going to be able to shoot yourself a lot farther in comparison to someone who's already kind of learned. Now, don't get me wrong, Speed's natural fighting ability is good. You know, if he's fighting someone that has no fighting experience whatsoever, he will probably win. But as soon as he comes up against someone which can notice the flat foot, they can notice the awkward guard coming up and down, they can notice the weird kind of change in stance and whatnot, and they can notice his awkward movements, he's cooked. You know, especially against someone like Jake Paul as well, Speed would respectfully stand zero chance whatsoever. And I'm not even going to sit here and say that Jake Paul's a good boxer, because he's not. You know, he's never fought anyone actually good outside of Tommy Fury. Maybe the Jake Paul KSI fight would be a good determining factor for that, because although KSI isn't amazing, he did fairly okay against Tommy Fury. So I think that would be a true test to see how good Jake Paul actually is. Anyway, here's one more clip of Speed against Manny Pacquiao, and although he's probably joking about a little bit here, you still get a rough idea of what's already ingrained into him. And although his stances are almost there, they're not quite there, and he'd have to change so much. But anyway, let's get into it.
Get back, get back.
See, as you can see there, just from the way that he's throwing them punches, just a little bit off balance, not moving too right, which is completely understandable because he's never really trained before. But anyway, if I had to give an actual fair prediction for this fight, if Speed had a year to 2 years, I think he'd actually be able to do alright against Jake Paul. I'm going to be completely honest. However, within that time, Jake Paul would probably get better at boxing. At least I would expect, considering he'd be training quite a lot and having a couple more fights. So Speed would definitely need to train extra hard to kind of be able to reach his sort of level. But yeah, I think 6 months is fucking crazy. No chance whatsoever. If you wanted to actually knock out Jake Paul, he'd need a solid 2 years of non-stop training to actually beat him. And if he wanted to maybe win by points, I'd say a year to a year and a half. You know, a year would definitely be on the luckier end. But 6 months, no. Absolutely no chance. Brother, you will get knocked out if you go in there. Which, Speed, I really do not want to see. You know, Speed, if you want someone to come and train you, I'll happily do it. You know, without a doubt, I'll pack my fucking bags. I'll quit whatever else I'm doing at the moment. I'll come and help you train. Genuinely, I'll give you some of the best training out there. I'll do it for free as well. Just give me some food every now and then and give me a bed to sleep in and I'll do it. But yeah, just wanted to say a little bit about this because I saw this popping up on Twitter and I thought, no fucking chance. Please, someone has to say something about this. But yeah, that's about it. See ya.